Before we begin, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an update. It really helps support the channel and keeps this kind of content coming. Today, we're taking a closer look at CEF Mastery, a research system built to help income-focused investors navigate the closed-end fund universe with clarity and confidence. Everything you'll see here is for informational purposes only, so always use your own judgment and consider your own financial situation. Let's start with the basics. CEF Mastery ranks and scores the highest-yielding closed-end funds trading today. If you're curious about how the system works, you can request a free report anytime by sending an email with "free report" in the subject line. You can also try the full service free for 1 month, and the annual subscription includes more than 52 weekly reports. While you're exploring, you'll also find additional tools like the Divi-X system, which is designed to help increase returns and accelerate dividend growth. When Divi-X is used with CEF Mastery, the results can be very satisfying. CEF Mastery is part of a broader suite of tools created to help investors strengthen both income and long-term growth potential. And at the heart of the system are 3 primary goals: stable income, positioning for distribution increases, and long-term capital appreciation. Everything in the platform is built around these pillars. Now, before we get deeper into the tools, it's important to clear up a few common myths about closed-end funds, because understanding these misconceptions helps explain why CEF Mastery works the way it does. One common belief is that funds covering their distributions with net investment income are the safest. In reality, many of those funds rely heavily on leverage to generate enough income, which can make them more vulnerable during market downturns. Another myth is that a long history of stable distributions means a fund is likely to maintain that payout. But if a fund consistently pays more than it earns, that stability can be misleading and often precedes a cut. There's also the idea that NAV erosion is always bad. But for some funds, return of capital is part of a tax-efficient strategy that allows investors to control when they recognize gains. It's not inherently negative. It depends on the fund's structure and strategy. And finally, a big discount doesn't always mean a better deal. Sometimes it signals deeper issues. On the flip side, a premium isn't always a red flag. In some cases, it can actually support distribution sustainability through mechanisms like ATM programs. With those myths out of the way, let's look at how CEF Mastery performs in practice. Since inception, CEF Mastery qualifying funds have avoided nearly all distribution cuts, about 99.5% based on our internal data. Past performance isn't a guarantee of future results, but the historical consistency is strong and speaks to the effectiveness of the scoring approach. So how does CEF Mastery accomplish this? The system evaluates not just profitability, but profitability after distributions. That gives a clearer picture of whether a fund's payout is sustainable going forward. Zooming out to the broader CEF universe, the data shows that only a small percentage of high-yield funds cover their distributions with net investment income alone. Most rely on NAV and return of capital, or ROC, to support payouts, which reinforces why evaluating post-distribution profitability is so important. And historically, CEF Mastery qualifying funds have produced more distribution increases than non-qualifying funds. The difference becomes even more apparent when you look at cumulative dividend totals over time. A hypothetical basket of CEF Mastery qualifying funds shows steadier and stronger dividend growth compared to other funds, even during the crash of 2020 and the bear of 2022. The opposite is true for non-qualifying funds. Even as markets are making new highs, other funds are still making greater cuts. A higher score in the system generally aligns with a greater likelihood of distribution increases, while lower scores tend to correlate with higher cut risk. And beyond scoring, CEF Mastery highlights what we call sleep well at night funds, those with stable distributions and minimal NAV erosion. When you compare qualifying funds to non-qualifying funds across 3-year and 5-year NAV averages, as well as 5-year NAV change, the qualifying group consistently outperforms. To qualify, a fund needs a strong fundamental score, a strong final score, and maintain enough accumulated earnings to support future distributions. Inside the platform, the Super Screener makes it easy to see these differences. You can view qualifying funds, non-qualifying funds, and compare them side by side with clear, intuitive visuals. Now let's walk through some of the key features inside CEF Mastery. The Fund Comparison tool lets you compare as many funds as you want, not just 4 or 5 at a time. You can compare individual funds, entire asset classes, or even take the top performer from each group and compare those against each other. The dividend calendar gives you a clear view of upcoming distributions, helping you spot opportunities to add to existing positions or open new ones before X dates. You can also flag your own holdings to track them more easily. The Fund Flows chart shows exactly where a fund's cash flow is coming from, making it simple to see whether distributions are being supported or stretched. It's a quick way to understand the health of a payout. One of the many charts available on the 5v5 tool lets you compare historical and projected performance across 5 funds using your own time frame and contribution settings. It breaks down initial investment, contributions, distributions received, and return of capital, while also projecting potential future returns based on current yields. The income breakdown chart stacks all income sources, net investment income, realized gains and unrealized gains, and overlays distributions. This gives you a clear visual of whether a fund is covering its payout. And as you'll see in many cases, net investment income is only a small part of the picture. The discount and premium chart highlights when a fund is trading above or below its historical average, helping you identify potential buying opportunities. This data is also integrated into the Super Screener and live market tools for quick filtering. Speaking of live data, the Live Market tab lets you sort and filter funds using real-time information, giving you an up-to-date view of pricing, discounts, yields, and more. The CEF Masters tab highlights the top-ranked funds each week and shows which funds have moved into or out of Mastery qualifying status over time. That's just some of the features included in CEF Mastery. If you'd like to explore everything CEF Mastery offers, you can start your free 30-day trial, read user testimonials, or check out additional tools using the link below. And if you have questions, feel free to email or call anytime. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I look forward to helping you get the most out of CEF Mastery.